Welcome to the Socially Unfiltered podcast,
where we'll be taking you along for our deep dives and doom scrolls through social media, entrepreneurship, and pop culture.
We're your hosts, Lex and Veronica, and together we're looking at everything through an unfiltered lens on the things that shape our everyday lives and society.
So grab a drink and get ready to explore the uncharted territories of online trends, share candid conversations, and uncover the stories behind the headlines.
This is the Socially Unfiltered podcast.
Oh my God, I can't believe we're back. Hello.
We're back, baby. Hi. What the fuck is up? Sorry for falling off the face of the earth.
Don't be sorry.
We have lots to update everybody on.
Yes. Thank you so much for being so patient with us as we took our break and for DMing us and texting back on our texting platform and just being like, we're here for you, Lex. It was so cute.
Yes, seriously, thank you.
People that were supportive and just so sweet to us in taking a break. And
yeah, and I just second that. Thank you guys. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not that. I just cannot believe how supportive everybody was and nice and didn't question things. I mean, we'll obviously talk about as much as we can talk about today, but thank you guys seriously for sticking with us through that. I mean, I saw everything that you were posting throughout it and just thank you for even taking the reins on that. I had no idea that you recorded an episode. I didn't know that any of or a
episode
an update. Yeah, mini-sode. So yeah, where do we start? What do we do?
I don't know.
I don't remember how to do this.
I guess whatever you're comfortable with, because we want you to feel okay talking about it. And we also don't have to talk about it because the people that know why, follow us and know why we took the break, or the episode before this literally explains it. So it's literally up to you. If you want to mention anything or say anything, go for it. But also, you don't have to at all or feel like you have to talk about what you went through.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that I won't talk about just because it's not my story to tell. I just happened to be a part of it. It's 100% my sister's story to tell. I think people think I'm intentionally vague with what I'm what I have posted about it, just being it literally started as a sore throat and then went to the ER and he didn't leave the ER, and that literally is the entire story. There's, other little health things that were just bound to happen maybe regardless from what we understand, but there's also I feel like when stuff like this happens, it to somebody looking in from the outside, it can be very easy to be like, oh, they're just placing blame, they're just angry and upset that this happened. And just with everything that happened, I don't feel like that's what we're doing. I think there were a lot of people that could have helped more that did not help in the way that they should have, especially when you take an oath as a nurse or a doctor. It's just one thing after the other with the entire situation. But yeah, basically my sister and Travis were on vacation in Disney with their kids, and it started as a sore throat one day. She brought him to the ER and he didn't leave. And that's basically the entire story, just because we won't really ever have answers about a lot of it. So that's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, there's a million other things to it that just, again, aren't my story to tell.
Because there's just a lot of missing pieces to the puzzle right now. And if you've ever lost somebody, or if you've had a situation where you're like, that's just not right. And, especially in this case scenario, it's this isn't just an angry family because they lost somebody. It's people fucked up. And
there's very valid reasons to be upset. So just incredibly stressful and incredibly frustrating for her. Again, this is not about me. But yeah, and thank you for, you listening. Thank you for sticking with us through everything and just falling off the face of the earth. And thank you, V, for, again, taking the reins on everything, because I don't even know where we left off. I actually think we have a fully edited episode ready to come out that just never got scheduled. So we can kind of shift and talk about some things updates with us just about that quick. So we do have an episode that will be coming out after this one, and it is the one that we recorded when you were here.
Yeah.
So it's a little old. I don't think anything in it isn't relevant, but just know we did not go from this episode to
Yeah.
sitting down and like having the time of our lives.
Right.
At least not me.
Yeah, no, and it was more like a question and answer. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be the one that we had you guys like submit questions for us from what I
Mhm.
remember. I'm pretty
That's what I
sure.
remember it as too. I'll
Yeah.
have to double check, but that's the one I think it
Yeah,
is.
so that will come out next week. And we'll still record next week and get back to like
Mhm.
our schedule.
Oh yeah,
And
we're back now. This is not like just a quick check-in. We're back. I mean, obviously, unless there's something unforeseen in the future, but
right.
which now I'm never not guessing that something crazy is going to happen overnight. So, you never know what's going to happen, but
Yeah.
for now we're back. Like we're back to our regular schedule, not just like a quick check-in.
Yeah. No, that's and that's so true too. Like you just always don't people always say it. They're like, "Oh, you just don't know what can happen tomorrow. Live your
Mhm.
life and do whatever." But it's like so fucking true and prevalent. Like do whatever the fuck you want to do and live
Mhm.
your life and say the things that are on your mind because again, like tomorrow is not promised, even today is not promised. Like it's just that is
Literally.
so true.
Mhm. And I was definitely not somebody who I mean, I know before, like, we've talked about, like, we both like, I hate when people say they're gonna do things and then don't do them, but, like,
Mhm.
truly, I was never somebody who like, yes, I've always known, you're not, like, promised tomorrow, you're not, "Oh, we can do that next week." Like, I
Yeah.
think before this, I was a lot more like, "Oh, there is always tomorrow." Like, "Oh, I'll just, push
Yeah.
this until tomorrow. What's a big deal if I don't go to this, like, one thing for friends or family? Like, there's always something else." And now, like, it's been never been, like, more obvious that that is not always the case,
Mhm.
and it sucks that it takes something like this happening for you to realize that.
I feel like, yeah,
Um
every time it has to, like, happen to you for you to kind of believe that this is, like, a reality or, like, that it can happen to just anybody, like, I think we go into life being
Mhm.
like, "That happens to other people," like, other people's husbands
Yeah.
and wives and children get sick or, like,
Oh,
have
for sure.
diseases or, like, whatever it is, like, we
And
just
not even in
always
a way where it's like, "Oh, I'm wishing it on somebody
No,
else,"
it's
or
just like,
like,
"This
I
doesn't happen to my
you
family."
never yeah, like, unless
Mhm.
something happens and this didn't even happen to me, this happened, like, adjacent to me, this just happened to somebody that I love.
You also have to give yourself grace that, like, you went through this too, and, like, you
Mhm,
also can feel how you feel, and it's okay and validated for you to feel how you feel too. Just because it's
mhm.
happening to somebody else doesn't mean you're, like, emotionless to that.
It's a different type of, like, mourning for me, like,
Yes.
I'm mourning for the life that I wanted my sister to have for the rest of her life,
Right.
you know?
All feelings are valid, I think, when it comes to losing somebody. Yeah, I think it's good for you that you're back and, like, in a routine and taking care of yourself because
Mhm.
it's hard, you went through a lot. So, I'm
Yeah.
glad you're back and you're home.
Me too. I'm, like, sad I'm not there, and it's
Yeah.
been really nice being there, like, as much as I was, but yeah, it's been I mean, literally, when we went to go record this morning, my keyboard and my trackpad of my computer were both dead because I literally have not sat at this desk since April 3rd.
Yeah.
Like, literally, the day that it happened was the last time I, like, sat in here and
Yeah.
worked, and it's just been I mean, I have literally packages piled up.
Yep.
I have 4 loads of laundry on our guest bed that probably won't get put away anytime soon. Like, I've just really learned and kind of been like, "Is it that serious? Like,
Yeah,
is
no.
really anything that serious at this point? Like, is it that serious that, like, I have 4 loads of laundry that haven't been put away?"
Yeah,
Like,
no.
that's also
It's not
kind
the
of
end of the world.
changed yeah, like, that's kind of changed the way that I look at everything. It's
Mhm.
just like, "Is it that serious?" Like, that's literally just been what I've been repeating to myself about, like, everything for the
Right.
last few weeks. It's just like, "Is
Nothing's
this
real.
something I need" Yeah, like, "Is this something I need to actually be upset about, or is this
Yeah.
something that I can just like move on from?
It's like the quote, if you're not gonna be upset about it in a month, a year,
Mhm.
is it worth, like, the stress or, like,
Mhm.
the buildup? I think that's a
Yeah.
really good mindset to just have in life regardless, like, being like, "Am I gonna be upset about this in a week? Like, do I actually
Right.
care this much? Is it that serious right now?" Like, it's not.
In an hour, am I gonna care?
Not to say you can never be upset or, like, complain about something, like,
No.
we're humans, and that's normal, like, it's normal to
Mhm.
be like, "Oh my god, traffic," like, whatever, but I think it is
Right.
all about the mindset and the shift of being like, "It's not that deep, it's not that serious," you know?
Mhm. Yeah. And that's definitely, I mean, not to keep making this like my like updates to give, but something that I wanted to say on here, just because I know probably a couple people from crossover saw it on my story. Things that I posted after all of this was kind of something along these lines. Like, I'm just kind of looking at everything as like, is it that serious? Like, is this something that I need to like focus energy on?
Mhm.
Um, and one of the things that I had said was I just like don't really have an interest in like talking about social media in a specific way that we had been not hold on, I already messed up the way I'm trying to word this. We had already said this like multiple times in episodes. What I was saying was not anything new, but I think I kind of worded it in a way where people were like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, like is the podcast changing? Oh my god, like are you quitting your job?" Like, so basically what I said was there are so many people out there that are going to always post content that's going to make me upset. There are so many people that are always going to be posting like, here's 3 tips to for sure increase your engagement, and it's stuff that just is going to make me mad. And
Yeah.
for a while I've been trying to like shift my own personal content, like nothing to do with the podcast, nothing to do with Socially Unfiltered, but me myself, like a huge reason that we started the podcast was for a place for social media content specifically to go. And I
Yeah.
know for me personally, I've been trying to lean away from that, like on my own personal account. Um, I know I had said, like, that's not my fight to fight for a lot of things. And more so, what I meant by that was think you and I have such better places to be putting energy about things. I probably should have planned them out a little bit more, but I literally was just like, "Oh, I have 10 minutes, like I'll say something." And I just don't think I worded it very well. So,
Yeah.
I hope that all makes sense. I hope
Yeah.
nobody thinks I'm like abandoning you and being like, "Oh yeah, I don't give a fuck if anyone posts that they made $10,000 overnight." Like, no, that is still going to upset me, and it is still going to be like the driving reason behind everything that we do. But I just don't see myself creating content in that aspect anymore.
No, and I feel like we haven't created content like that in over a year, honestly, like,
Yes,
probably
same.
longer than that. Like, I don't think we were. I mean, everybody starts making content like that. Like every social media manager, I
Right.
feel like falls into the trap of being like, okay, 3 ways to blah, blah, blah. And I just don't think that's us. And like, I don't think that's been our content for a long time. And that's why we
Mhm.
started this in the first place. I mean, also, a year ago today, we decided to start this podcast actually. Not today. Well, I don't know what date we were in Nashville, but it was
It
in
was
May.
in May,
I think
though.
it was last week, maybe. Um,
It was wait, remember weren't we there for Cinco de Mayo? Or we, like, left the
No,
day
it was like the
before after
7th
that?
to the 12th or something, because 'cause I'm pretty sure, or the 11th, I think we got back the 11th because it was mine and Mark's anniversary the next day, I think. So I'm pretty sure that it was whatever, sometime around this time is when we
Yeah.
literally decided in Nashville to come together and be like, "Why do we have 2 podcasts? We should just do it together," and I think that
Mhm.
I agree. Never want to give off mean girl energy. I think we get fired up about a lot of things because we are so passionate about what we do and like doing it in
Mhm.
a truthful and like ethical manner. And I think,
Mhm.
in my opinion, at least, I think we have done a really good job of like being like, this is the reality. And like, it might be harsh, but like, this is the reality of being a business owner, social media manager, whatever. This is actual bullshit that people are spewing. And it's not like,
Mhm.
again, yeah, not like we have a hit list. There's definitely people that I see and I'm like, I wish that they didn't have this big of a platform to
For
put
sure.
this out there because so many people follow their direction and it's like then they get into this industry and they find themselves lost and feel like they were lied to and scammed and it sucks,
Mhm.
and most people quit or they decide to become coaches just like those people because they see the money in that. So I think it's just
Yep.
us being, like, realistic about what this is like, and
Mhm.
yeah, I never wanna come off like, "Oh my god, we're judging every single post and we're judging every person." Like, I don't even scroll anymore, and I know you like, you don't either because just comparison alone, I'm like, I cannot
Yeah.
even look at what these people are saying or doing. I have, like, 3
Mm-mm.
people that I'm, like, checking up on because they're, like, my people, and
Mhm.
that's that because I for my own mental health, I don't want to
Yes.
be taking in all of this information and, like, getting upset. Again, like, we are in control of what we're seeing, so we're
Mhm.
not always in control of what we're seeing, but, like, we're in control of, like, scrolling and who we follow and those things like we talked
Mhm.
about in the previous episode, but, yeah, I completely agree with you, and my passion is not in posting and, like, being this, like, coach. Like, we're
Mhm.
mentors, and we have the blueprint that we just made for social media managers, and I'm sure we're gonna expand on that, but
Mhm.
it's not something that's, like, going to be our full-time role or, like, we
Right.
wanna be these, like, Instagram coaches that teach you how to, like, take your business to 10K. Like, that's not us and never was us, so,
Mhm.
yeah, I just think that we're both in this, like, new season of just I don't know, just saying whatever we want like, posting what we wanna post and
Mhm.
saying, "Fuck it," and
Yeah.
that's that.
Yeah. It was yeah, I think I just worded it really badly. Like, I just did not word it the way that I
I don't think it
should
was
have
really
worded
bad,
it.
I was just like,
I
"Wait,
know you were like, so are
you
we,
don't wanna
like,
talk about social
done
media at
talking about"
all?"
I was like, "No, I'm still" 'cause, like, it's the way that I'm seeing it is like, I'm still down to talk about, like, crazy things that happen on social media, like, the whole, like, celebrity blackout that's happening right now, like, I have a lot of really strong
Yeah.
feelings about that, like, it's not so much that I have no interest in social media whatsoever, it's exactly like you said, like, I don't even scroll that often through social media manager content
No.
anymore because so much of it, like, I guess I don't know, it comes off as, like, scammy or whatever, and I just don't feel like I need to be consuming that, and in that same regard, I don't ever want somebody to come across, like, one of my videos, like, on TikTok or Instagram and be like, "Whoa, this girl's, like, really pissed off, like, all the time about, this one concept of people talking about
Mhm.
10K overnight." Like, yes, again, that will always drive, I think, like, what we create products for and what we do for other social media managers
Yeah.
because we don't want people to fall into that. But
Mhm.
I don't want that to be all of my content. Like exactly like you said, I want to post like literally whatever I want to post. I'm like trying to fucking start a flower garden. That's what all my boxes are back there. Like I want to post about stuff that like genuinely makes me happy and
Happy.
I
Yep.
want to like give off that vibe that somebody sees that and is like, "Whoa, like I really like, these girls' vibes, not like oh my god, like, yeah, fuck that person. Like, I don't want
Mhm.
hundreds of comments on one of my posts being like, "Yeah, that girl makes me mad too," because like,
Mhm.
I just don't need that, like, mean girl energy, and that's, again, not to say that I think we were doing that before or that, like, we were doing anything that I don't agree with moving forward. It was just me kind of brain dumping, like, "Hey, when I do come back, like, my own content's gonna be a little bit different, and I just wanna make sure that, like, moving forward, we continue to be a productive part of this community, not just, like, having mean girl energy."
No, and I totally get that because that's where I'm at too. I mean, I am creating content now on my TikTok that I genuinely like to do and, like, create, and it's more about it's like personal branding, like we've talked about personal
Mhm.
branding and just, like, posting the things that make you happy and that are, like, getting to know you as a person because it's so funny now too watching, like, my videos, and I actually saw, oh my gosh, what's her name? I think her name is Kelsey, she's a social media manager. She also just did this recently too, um, where she, like, completely stopped pretty much posting about social media stuff and just started
Mhm.
being a personal brand and, like, posting about her travel and, like, stuff that she actually enjoys and loves, and I feel like
Mhm.
so many people are doing that now because all we focused on was social media for so long, and now we're, like, burnt out. There's only so much you can fucking say about social media. I'm like, I don't know what else I wanna say. I don't know what else I wanna talk about. I'm done. Like, it's just it's enough. I'm like, there's enough content that you can scroll and you can find
Wrap it
shit
up.
about social media if you want, and, like,
Right.
watch that. But it's funny, like my views have gone down so much ever since I started just doing like regular content, like
Mhm.
lifestyle and like personal branding stuff. Like I have noticed the major drop because most people I'm sure followed me for social media, but I'm like, I don't
Right.
care because I actually enjoy making this content and I get to be creative and do like what I want to do. And
Mhm.
it's like more for me to like have that outlet of creativity versus like
Mhm.
trying to like make a sale or like get a client or something like that.
Right.
I'm sure if I needed a client, I can ramp it up, but, like, it's
Right.
yeah, it's I don't know. I am so about, like, post whatever you wanna post and what
Mhm.
makes you passionate because for a long time, we were not passionate about making content because of that
Right.
reason.
I don't know, a little pivot never hurt anybody.
Yeah,
But
agreed.
yeah, it's exactly like you said, and it's funny because I'm always like, "Don't tell me that you don't have content ideas." Like, content ideas are literally never ending to my
Mhm.
clients. But yeah, it's with social media, I just am kind of at a place like, what else can I possibly say that we don't say on here?
Right.
And then the other thing too is like exactly like you said, like I don't mean for this to sound like in a douchebag, like seniority way, but like I am ready to like somebody else post this content now. Like
Yes.
I'm ready to
Yes.
pass the torch. Like you can do it because I'm not really in a place where I'm looking to like gain a ton of traction in my social media
Mhm.
management business. Like, yes, I might, take new clients on in the future, but by now I have created enough of a community, I think, that I
Yeah.
don't need to be posting social media content to find a client. And
Yeah.
I do credit a lot of like the community I built in that way to a lot of the content I posted in the beginning. So please, like,
Yeah.
by all means, be the person to post that content. We're not judging you. There is somebody out there who needs it.
Yes.
I just
Oh,
don't
yeah,
think
people
we
will
can.
always need it, and
Yeah.
it's just I think our mindset is not like we're trying to become coaches and we're trying to,
Mhm.
like, scale and do this as, like, our business because I think a lot of social media managers end up doing that shift to becoming a coach. And I feel
Mhm.
like I just made a video about this too. Like, just because you're a social media manager doesn't mean you have to become a coach or like you have to.
Mhm.
Because I think when people see you become successful and like, build a team or whatever you're doing, they want to know how you did it. So you're like, wait, okay, there's a lot of interest. Maybe I should like get into that. And then you get
Mhm.
into it and you're like, wait, I don't know if I want to do this. Like, I do like my job and just like doing that job. So, just because you're a social media manager, like have an agency or whatever, does not mean you have to teach other people. Like, there's other
Mhm.
resources for that, or like send them to somebody, or just help that person, maybe if you want to, like a one on one or something. But I think like
Mhm.
we all get tricked into that because people see what you're doing and they want to do it and you're like, "Oh my god, there's so much interest. I should." That's why I started Agency Builder in the first place, like
Mhm.
started doing the coaching thing and it was great and I helped a lot of people, but I'm like my full-time role and like where I make my most income is my clients and being a
Yeah.
social media manager. And I feel like that's where I want to keep it and not,
Mhm.
scale and grow and be this coach. Like that's
Mhm.
not our passion. But
No.
it's okay if it's yours. Like
Yeah, and
go for
it
it.
a few months ago, maybe a few years ago, like, our answers to that might have been different, but
Mhm.
now it's just and I think a lot of it has to do too with, at least for myself, the way that I see it is, like, not that I usually follow these time frames specifically, but, you know, during the day, I'm doing my client work, and then at night, like, I have time for, one, hobby. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And it's like, before, I was kind of really only focusing on, all of my free time going to creating content about social
Yeah.
media. And now it's like, well, I even just wanna create content about different things. Like I said, I wanna fucking plant a garden. That's my new hobby that I
Yeah.
haven't started yet. But, I wanna do other things, and before I just felt very "Well,
Push
I
into
can't
a
make
box.
content." Yeah, I can't make content about that. So I just feel like I've been doing all of this, cool shit in the background undocumented for
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
because my sole focus was on social media content, and
Yeah.
again, now kind of looking at it as okay, well, if I'm not spending the time making social media content, I have time for new things. I have time to make
Yeah.
content about other things. I have time to explore other business opportunities. There's just so many more
Mhm.
like so much more room to try new things when you're
11:44.
I literally was just looking at that. There it is.
Yep.
There they are being like, "Yes, good job.
Yes,
Yes,
playing
try new
girlies.
things."
Just our angel numbers just validating us over
Yeah.
here.
Just letting us know that, yeah, we're doing the right thing, so
Yeah,
that's
do
nice
whatever you wanna
to
do, basically.
literally. Do you wanna talk about where you went and what you did while we also were on this break for wedding?
Yeah, we went to Dallas recently, like a week ago. Well, at this point, when you're listening, it'll be like 3 weeks ago or something. But yeah, we went to Dallas because 'cause we're getting married there, next May. So we went there, did a engagement photo shoot, visited Gabby. It was so much fun. Um, Literally everything is, like, planned and done, basically. So we're just now we just vibe for a year till we get married, so
It's crazy it's still a year, but I feel like it's gonna go so fast. Look,
always.
that's them being like, "Yeah, you're good, just
I
vibe.
know.
We're all good."
That was
Wait,
my
so,
goal,
like
and honestly, like,
yeah.
you don't need a year. Like, I could literally probably get married in, like, 2 months because everything is planned, but, again, I have to be like, "Okay, well, we're only having, like, 35 people, no bridal parties, so you don't really have to, like, coordinate all those things," but
Right.
it's exactly everything that we wanted, and from our conversation, I remember about weddings, I think that did a really good job of, like, sticking to what I've always wanted or, like, envisioned and,
Mhm.
like, not dropping a buttload of money on this shit because it's 1 day, and it's still
Mhm.
gonna be special and fun and amazing, and I don't know, I just feel like I haven't been stressed at all, but I don't know if that's
Mhm.
because of the small guest count or if it's because we don't have bridal
Right.
parties, or I just really think it's all about how you make it and what you make of it. That's not to say that, like, finances aren't a stressful part of it, definitely
Mhm.
are, but I feel like, I don't know, just, like, the actual planning process has been super simple,
Mhm.
and maybe that's controversial to say for because everyone I see on, like, TikTok planning a wedding
Mhm.
is so stressed out and, like, ripping their hair out, and they're, like, crying all the time, and I'm like, I just don't think that's worth it to
No.
worry and stress and, like, I don't know, beat yourself up so much over 1 day because it's and everyone all these people always end up saying, "It's not about that, like, I'm just gonna enjoy the day," but then they're, like, flipping out the entire planning
Mhm.
process, and I'm like, "Well, I don't think you're actually enjoying anything." Like, I
You
just
know what's really funny is I just did a shoot with Reagan. We did like a Q&A style. One of the questions was, do you think that all weddings need to have a bridal party? And wedding and event professionals and planners, they said that the brides that they've had that have been the most like calm, cool, had the best experience were the ones that didn't do bridal parties
Mhm.
because it takes so much away from your own experience. And then on top of that, I think the size that you're doing obviously is way more manageable than 3 times that or
Oh,
like
yeah,
10
for
times
sure.
that.
Well, we also don't have a registry, like well, we do, we have a honeymoon fund, and I think I added some towels if people want to, but I literally put on there, like, we although we have a registry, like, it is not, like,
Mhm.
expected and not required at all, like, if you wanna contribute, like, to the honeymoon fund, contribute, but also we're asking people to fly to Dallas for us, and, like, we are
Mhm.
asking people to also fly probably for our bachelor and bachelorettes, like, I know we are, so it's, like, not really fair
Mhm.
to ask people and, like, we have a home, we are very grateful to have a home and have the things we
Right.
need, so it's like,
You're not like
I don't need a
struggling for
shower, like
dinnerware
yeah.
set. Yeah.
I talked with Taylor, my sister-in-law, of doing maybe, like, a brunch or something, like,
Mhm.
something very s just us girls go to brunch, which, like, would not expect you to fly out for that, obviously. I know you and Gabby are like, "You don't need a 3rd flight for me, please, it's not a shower." But, like, if you want to but I agree, I really don't think people need to have a bridal party, like, I feel like I that's why we're having a bachelor and bachelorette because we want our best
Mhm.
friends to feel included in the day. Because I don't want it to be like, "Oh, you guys aren't included in any part of this, like, you are
You're
a
just
huge"
coming to watch.
Yeah, like, "You're a
Yeah.
huge part of my life and our life, and we wanna, like, celebrate that with all of you." But, again, I also saw the best quote, and this bride said, she's like, "For you when you're engaged or, like, you're getting married, like, it's the biggest thing because it's, like, happening to you, but you're not the
Mhm.
center of everyone else's world, and, like, especially when it comes to, like, bachelorettes and all this stuff, like, you expect people to do all these events for you and spend thousands
Mhm.
of dollars on you, and it's like, they also have a life, they have other weddings, they have their own partners, like, they have all these things going on in their life, and I think people forget that in the planning process where they're like, "Well, they should be doing this for me," or, "They should be doing this," and there's, like, so many expectations of friends, and I think it's like
Mhm.
at the end of the day, it's not about that. It's not about how much your friend spends or like, I just think people get caught
Mhm.
up in that, and that's why we just didn't wanna do that. I don't want anyone to have to stress about, like, buying a dress, doing hair, doing makeup, like,
Mhm.
a shower gift, and then whatever else, like, engagement parties, like, that people do. It's just, like, a lot of
Mhm.
expectations, and I think more people are kinda leaning away from that because
Mhm.
it's a lot to ask of people, especially now, like, everything is so expensive, and
Right.
I don't want anyone to feel financially stressed, and I want everyone to have a good time, so, yeah, we're just doing a batch, there's 8 of us, love an even number.
Also, for the record, you are the center of my world, and I would come there for for anything that you needed of me.
Same, but just gonna
Unless
be
it's a weekend during the summer, and then clearly we're not driving
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's been great, it's been very simple, just
Mhm.
how we have wanted it, and it's gonna be great, and I'm very excited. I thought I would
It's
be
kind
like
of cool you just get to vibe from now until then, basically.
oh, yeah. And I don't know
Like, it
anyone else
seems
that has done this, so it's like
no, me either.
I can't really, like, talk to anybody about it and be like, "What was your
Mhm.
experience like?" Or like, "How are you feeling?" Whatever. It's like everyone I know has had a big wedding, and they're like, "I wish,"
Right.
and it's funny because they all say that they wish they did what we're doing, but no one
Yes,
will.
that's
Like, everyone's too scared to, like, make family upset or, like, not invite certain people, and I'm like, "You know
no,
what?
you're ruthless.
At the end of the day, I'm like, it is not about this big show. Like, it is about
No,
us, and we've been together for 8 fucking years, and I don't care about this huge show for everybody. It's not
right.
about that.
No.
So, we've kept that
That's
kind
what
of
I've
in the back
never
of our mind.
understood. Yeah, that's what I've just never understood is
Mm-mm.
yeah, just I'll never get that.
Exactly.
Just because I don't need that, I don't like that, I don't like when people are
No.
looking at me, I would
I'm even scared
literally
about 35 people staring at me, okay?
having to kiss Ethan in front of any member of my family is enough to, like, send me over the edge. Like, I want them to think we've never held
Sleep in
hands, we've never
separate
even been in
rooms.
the same room. Yeah.
I know.
I
I
don't know
know.
why, it's, like, so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Maybe not for, like,
We have more
everybody,
friends
but
coming than we have family, like, when we were talking to the
mhm,
DJ, found a fabulous fucking DJ, cannot wait for him,
love
like,
that.
him and Mark are, like, the same vibe, like, in music and
Perfect.
everything, like, he's great, he's very young, and we told him, we're like, "Literally, there's only, like" how many? Like, maybe 6 people that are 50 and everyone else is, like, young and fun, and we want it to be, like, a good time. So, I'm excited. I think it's exactly what we want, and then when we're home, we can just have a big, like, pool party or something and invite
Mhm.
the people that, we didn't invite to the actual wedding, but if
Right.
anyone's upset, it's like, that's your problem and not for me to deal with. So,
No.
sorry.
No.
You're
No.
not paying for the wedding, so
That's what I'll never especially, like, family that, like, extended
yeah.
long di at least I know for me, I would have, like, extended long distance family members being like, "Why weren't we
America's,
invited?"
like,
Like, I
75
yeah,
family members
you're
on top of significant others. I'm like, this could easily be a 200-person wedding, like, at this
yeah,
point,
literally.
because everyone has a significant other now and children, and, like, it's just a lot, and we could have easily done that route, and I'm like, "There's no
Mhm,
need to add the stress or a
mhm,
financial burden on anyone's life for one day, so, like, please don't if you're listening to this and you're, like, engaged or whatever, planning a wedding, like, I know everyone says it's not about everyone else, it's about you guys, but, like, it's so fucking true. It's not about everyone
mhm,
else, and you're the guest at your wedding, so remember that.
mhm.
You're not the
Yeah, because
host.
I'm exactly like you said, I just feel like you hear so many couples we might have even said this oh, thumbs up. We might have
Like, when
even
I'm
said
saying,
this.
it's like, "Yes, girl."
Yeah, no, they're literally like, "Yes, girl, like, keep going." Just because, like, so many people I feel like are like, "Oh, I don't even remember the day." Like, I
Oh,
never even
yeah.
sat and
Or
ate, and I'm
ate
like, "I
food.
will
I'm like,
be
I will literally rip
I will
everyone to
be
shreds if I don't
damned."
eat.
I will be damned if I'm not
Yes.
sitting down and having a meal at my own wedding.
I think we're just so lucky to have the parents as well that are, like, very open and accepting of what we want and, like, listen to what
Mhm.
we want. Because I know a lot of people don't have
Didn't
that, like,
push
they're
or
like,
anything.
"Well, we're paying and, like, what we say
Mhm.
goes," which I understand, like, on a parent's aspect, it's like, if they're gonna pay for the whole wedding, it's like they also wanna invite whoever they wanna invite, but it's like, I don't wanna have to be going around shaking hands, "Nice to meet you, thanks for coming." Like, I've been to weddings like that, and it's so weird to me. I'm like, these people have no relevancy in your life and don't even know you. Or like Mark and I literally said, if we don't talk to you on like a weekly or even monthly basis, like you're not coming. And it's true. Everyone that's coming, we talk to on a weekly, if not daily basis, and who we see in our lives forever. And like
Mhm.
that is how we've always kept it. And we are very grateful to have parents who are like accepting of that and like
Right.
are okay with that. Cause I know a lot of people don't have that privilege, but it's like then maybe look at doing something without their
Other
financial
people.
support. Like, do it even smaller. Go elope with just, like, 20
Mhm.
people that are your favorite people, and then come home and have, like, a little dinner party at home with more people if you want,
Mhm.
but I think there's ways around that too if people are, like if parents are not accepting of that, I think you just put your foot down. It's your day.
I think when parents are too this is like,
It's
I
so
don't know,
weird to me
maybe
when they're like, "No."
it's like you're their property
Yeah.
almost. Like,
Like,
it's
you're a
like they see
doll? I'm
their
like, "What?"
yeah,
It's
so you're like a
weird.
pet or something that's like, "Okay, go here and you're gonna" like, when they have
Mhm.
an opinion about the dress, when they have an
Yes.
opinion about the colors, like, I
So
get,
weird.
like, maybe if you, like, trust, a style decision from
Right.
somebody or, like, their input about something, that's one
Unsolicited
thing.
opinions. Yeah.
Yes, but to demand and be like, "No, it's
Mhm.
gonna be this big, and we're gonna invite these people," like, that to me is just parents seeing children as their property, and I think that's,
Yeah.
like, so weird.
It's yeah, and
What
yeah.
does that mean?
No, I completely agree. I'm like, "Why do you wanna dictate how this person
Mhm.
professes their love for their significant other on
It's so weird, yeah, like, you're not involved in that. I've
No,
also always thought it was weird that the dad walks the girl down the aisle and, like, gives her away, like, I'm not a
no.
fucking package that you're handing to somebody.
I know.
Like,
Honestly, like,
it's
I
always so
really
weird
think
about
I'm
that.
just gonna walk alone. Well, first of all, I don't have a father to walk me down the aisle anyway,
"Can I
but
walk you down the aisle? Can I give you away to Mark?"
yes.
I'm gonna
I
make
just
him
yeah, I
sign
agree.
in
A
a
lot of
blue lid.
things that we're doing are not traditional, and
Mhm.
it might ruffle people's feathers, and we don't really care. Like,
I
it's gonna be
literally
what we want it to be. So,
you shouldn't give a fuck about whose feathers are ruffled unless they're yours or Mark's, and that's
period.
period, queen.
Alright, queen.
No, you've literally been, like, the most chill through all of this and, like, even, like, bachelorette planning, like, you're so conscious of, like, what it's asking
Yeah,
of other people. I'm like, "Let's go.
I
Let's get the
know.
biggest house. Let's get all the decorations."
I know.
Like, I'm ready to fucking go,
I
and you're
am
like,
so excited. I wish it was this May so bad.
"Oh,
Like, I just wanna be back in
I
Nash
know."
and just being feral with you.
Maybe we should, take a trip there before then just to, like,
Just to,
scope out
like
some
just to
places,
visit, like,
feel it out. Yeah.
get another tattoo. I definitely wanna get a tattoo on my batch. We
I
should
think I'm getting a tattoo next week because one of my clients is having, a party, like, just like a fun, like, open house espresso martinis. There's gonna be a girl there
Ah,
pulling tarot cards, and there's gonna be a girl there doing, tattoos from, like, a flash sheet,
oh
and
my
I think I'm gonna
god,
get them. I know, I'm just, like, bored. I'm
what are you
like,
gonna
"Why
get?
not?" So I really wanna get stars on one of my fingers,
Cute,
because I have the sun on that finger, and I think I wanna do some stars on that one, but
cute.
a lot of artists are weird about doing finger tattoos because they're really prone to getting infected. I was told from
Makes sense.
the artists that both told me no. But I want more. I literally want, like, henna hands. Like, I literally
I
want,
love
like
hand tattoos, like
me
little
too.
ones, like thin, little dainty.
Mhm.
I love those.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
excited for
Like, I
you. Oh my
want
god, I can't wait to see that.
thanks. It was not in my plans, it was not in my agenda, but then it popped up
That's
and I was like,
neither
"Oh
were
my
like
god."
3 in Nashville, so
Yeah, no, literally. Actually, none of my tattoos have ever been
no.
planned, so Even my
Yeah.
sleeve, I just showed up and I'm like, I don't know, fill it in with
Yeah, I
something.
don't know,
So,
just do some shit. Make it cool.
and circling back, bringing it full circle, nothing is that serious.
No.
So if somebody looks at one of my tattoos and goes, that's a bold choice,
Mhm.
it's not that serious. And,
Yeah, it is what it is.
whatever.
Yeah. Definitely need tats though in Nash.
I'll literally get Veronica tattooed like across my chest. Property of.
No regrets.
Imagine.
None. Spell it with a C. Not even a letter. No, I'm so excited.
That's
Our
so
house is
funny.
fucking sick and we're gonna have so much
Mhm.
fun.
Yes.
I
It's
cannot wait.
gonna be a time.
Back to Tootsie's, babe. But isn't Morgan Wallen opening up a bar there? Or who was it? Was it him or I don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
But the place we went to in Dallas, it was like a food place. It's called the Henry. Apparently they're
Mhm.
opening in Nashville too.
Oh, fun.
I know. It was really good.
Love that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Wait, is that's just somewhere you went or that's who you're using for the food for your wedding?
No, it's just like where we went to lunch. But
Oh,
it's
oh,
like a
oh,
good night
okay.
before spot too, I think.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think that was like everything from my Oh, I'm starting therapy today.
Yay!
Whee!
Woohoo!
I know, it's been a long time coming.
Now would be a time for, like, the thumbs up
I
thing to pop
know.
up. Be like,
She's like,
"Yes."
don't get ahead of yourself, bitch. You might
She's
not
like,
like
"We
it."
haven't even started yet."
Yeah, we haven't started. I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I've never been to therapy, so I don't know, like, how it's gonna go or what to expect, but the fuck? I'm also excited because I literally wrote in my notes app, like, everything I mean, all my traumas, I guess.
A list.
I was
You're
like,
like, "Do you want
"Damn, okay."
chronological or, like, in the order that it affected me the most? Like, which one do you want?"
Literally. Oh my god. I don't know.
I'm so excited for
I'm
you.
excited too.
I hope this is, like, your person right from the beginning.
I know, she looks so cute, and I think it's gonna be, like, weekly just to
Mhm.
start and see. I don't know. It's gonna be a lot, I'm sure, but it's good, and I will let y'all know how it goes. It's just
Anything left with
crazy,
you?
like, it is not easy to find a therapist at all, like or just not even find a therapist because yes, it's easy to find a person, but it's not easy to get insurance approval, so, like, anyone that's
Right.
like, "Oh, just here, go to this website and, like, find something." It's like, I had, like, the most difficult time, and I had to call my
Mhm.
insurance, like, 6 different times. And then just for them to send me a 75-page list of all of these different, like, therapists and no photos, no bios, nothing. It was just, like, names for me to call, and I'm like, "Well, I need to, like,
Mhm.
see what they're about, what they specialize in."
Right.
And then the website I went to, I, like, found one. She said she accepted my insurance. We had an amazing consultation call, and I was, like, finally feeling hopeful. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is great." And then like, booked a session. All of a sudden, my session gets canceled, and I'm like, "What the hell?" I look on the website, and it's, like, not approving my insurance. So then I like contact support. They don't get back to me for 2.5 weeks. And then just to tell me they don't take my insurance anymore. And I'm like, what the actual fuck? Like everything you go through to like help yourself. And it's just so hard. And this is why I've put it off for so long. Cause I'm like,
Mhm.
I can't pay 150 a session every single week. And like I need it to be covered by insurance. And
Right.
if you don't have insurance, it's like I know that there are like other websites like BetterHelp, I think, and stuff,
Well,
but
that's what I was just gonna say is so there's one called Open Path, and that was how I found my first therapist without having insurance, and it's a sliding scale, so they,
yeah,
like, basically look at your income and decide like, I don't think my payments ever were above $100, like, it was and I didn't have insurance at the time,
yeah.
so it's
I
with
went
them.
to psychology today and but then even
Mhm.
that, like the therapist I found, I had to call and make sure my insurance took her like number or whatever and they were like, "No, we don't." But she works for this place and she's like, "Well, what if it's billed under the place I work with?" So I had to call
Mhm.
back and be like, "Do you take it under if she bills it under this?" And they're like, "Yep, if she bills it under that, we take it."
So
I'm like,
annoying.
"This is just such a process and it should be easier for people."
Yeah.
And if you don't have insurance, it should be easier. As it's just, like, crazy when you go to, like, help yourself or, like, anything healthy you wanna do, I feel like it just
No,
takes so much
literally.
longer or, like, is way harder, but I think it's worth it to, like, fight for yourself, put yourself first,
Mhm.
and make the effort to like get help if you need it. And nothing even has to be wrong. Nothing's currently wrong. I'm thriving
Yeah,
right now,
no.
but I'm sure when I dig in my past, I'm gonna be like, oh fuck, like that needs to be
Yeah,
talked about and never has. So
right. Yeah, anything that's meant to, like, better you is
mm,
either a
there
super
we
annoying
go.
process. There they are. It's either, like, a super annoying process or it costs a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just they don't make anything easy. I mean, we could
No.
move to Canada where, like, everything is free,
No, literally.
and they basically just hand you money for existing there.
Crazy. But no.
Those are pretty much everything happening. I mean, as far as, like, socially unfiltered stuff, merch is still there, texting is there. By the time this episode comes out, we will be getting back to kind of our normal episodes and stuff like that week we'll start recording normally.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk more about like merch and stuff, which actually the tote bag, that was like one of the main bags that I used for going back and forth to New York for the last few weeks.
Aw.
She's like tattered a little bit from being like thrown around. Like there's definitely some sort of like dry shampoo all on the inside of it. Um, but she is durable. She
Yes,
has
yes.
held
I love her.
literally like so much stuff. I am extremely happy. And it just happened to be like the first bag that was out and available. And I just like picked it up and started packing. And I was like, oh,
Aw.
that's cute.
We were always with you.
Always with me.
Yes.
And yeah,
I love
it was
that.
a very good bag for that.
Yeah,
So
thank you to everyone who has bought our merch. Should have gotten
yes.
a note from us. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm, like, pretty sure I sent every single person that purchased
Mm-hmm.
merch a note, so thank you so, so much, and
Yes, thank
yeah,
you
the
so much
blueprint
for
is
that.
still there. If you're looking
Mhm.
to get into social media management, the reality of it, the
Yes,
blueprint
the
is in the show
reality.
notes.
Do not expect anything sugar coated, but also
No.
we promise we're not giving off mean girl energy, or at least not trying to.
Yeah, no. Definitely not. But yeah, I think
Um,
that's it for this week. Next week, we will be back with a episode that we recorded answering your questions. I'm sure
mhm.
some of you guys have been waiting a while for
I
those
know they're like,
questions.
"Oh, they
Like,
just,
wait, what
like,
happened
never
to my
answered."
question?
Yeah.
It's coming out now, and it will be just as valuable. So,
Yes.
thank you
Thank you guys
so
again so
much.
much, seriously, for everything. We will talk to you next week.
Love you.
Love you.
Happy to be back with you, my
Happy to be
sweet
here.
girl. I love you.
I love you so much.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging. If you aren't sick of us yet, jump over to the Socially Unfiltered Pod Instagram.
Check out the social media manager blueprint,
And everything else you'll need can be found in the show notes.
and we'll see you next Monday.